Good afternoon. My name is Tom Bell. I'm Director of Music here at St James Cathedral, and as always it's a very great and sincere pleasure to share some wonderful music making with you each week at Tuesday at 1. This week is certainly no exception. Michael Capon has an enviable CV, as you will see in the programme, and has devised a very interesting programme for us, finishing with some Bach, but starting with a musician he admires very much. He will introduce it in a few moments, but just before then, to draw your attention to the recitals which continue each week then, right the way through November and December. Friday, December the 19th is one to note. Rashan Allwood playing La Nativité will be a fabulous experience. And on St Cecilia's Day, you're welcome to join any of our choirs and hear myself play a short organ recital on Saturday, then November the 22nd. As always then, it's a very great pleasure to welcome you. Could you join me in welcoming Michael Capon to St James Cathedral? Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Tom, for that lovely introduction and for the invitation to come and play for you today. It's always a treat for me to come here from Kingston. I do a day trip on the train, and makes for a lovely little adventure. And it's also a treat to play on this beautiful organ in this beautiful church on a fantastic new console. Every time I get the chance, I rave about the new console. It is just a dream to play. It's so super. It just feels great to play. So it's an added pleasure is the physical sensation that I have of playing this music on a beautiful console. As Tom mentioned, this program is dedicated to the memory of Barrie Cabena, who died this year in April. One of the most significant figures in Canadian music. He was a force of nature, brimming with creative energy. He was a composer, performer, music professor, choral director, accompanist, poet, if I didn't say that already, and especially composer. Hi, Chris. Hi, Ann. Nice to see you. You will see from the first piece on the program his fanfare, written in 2009, Opus 595. As you see, Barrie was an extremely prolific composer. And that piece in 2009, he didn't stop there. He kept composing. His pace did not slow down at all. When he died, his opus numbers had gone over 1,000. So the fanfare was written for the 100th anniversary of the College of Organists in 2009. And I was privileged enough to be at the premiere of this piece. And I loved it instantly. It was performed so beautifully by Recital, another great Canadian organist and composer, who was taken from us far too soon. I think it was a couple of years ago, maybe, that she died. So this fanfare has special meaning for me, both as a piece by Barrie and a piece that I recall being premiered by Recital. We have a couple more pieces by Cabena, just to give you a taste of some of his music. A couple of his earlier pieces, a meditation, very gentle, serene, very static piece, and his delightfully spooky Toccata. And then I thought I would do a couple of pieces by a couple of his colleagues. These are a couple of pieces that came under my fingers fairly recently, and I thought they might suit. One by Florence Durell Clark, who was an organist composer based in Hamilton. And this prelude was probably either her greatest hit or one of her greatest hits, published by Novello. A beautiful meditation on this melody by Tallis, based on a hymn tune. And then William France, another Canadian composer who was active in Ottawa. And this finale from his second suite is sort of I don't want to say pompous march, but a march for an occasion that is full of pomp. So like some serious occasion where we have lots of dignitaries marching down the aisle. This is the piece for that. And then I thought I'd finish with a piece of Bach, because Bach is suitable for any occasion. His Prelude and Fugue in B minor, one of my favorite pieces by Bach to play. And Bach is suitable because his music tends to encompass so many emotions all at once. And this Prelude and Fugue in B minor, a later piece by Bach, really does that. It's so full of all kinds of emotions. I'll let you sort of let that wash over you and see how you experience it. Just be warned that the Bach is the longest piece on the program, so you may think the program's about to end and you'll be able to go home, but you'll have to sit here for a little while longer while Bach's music takes its time to unfold, as it usually does. So very grand, large-scale work by Bach to finish with. And just to recap, the whole program is dedicated to the memory of the great Canadian musician, Barrie Cabena. Thank you for coming today. Enjoy the program.
Thank you, Michael, so much for your music, your talent, your time, for coming here. It's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you on behalf of all of us. It really has been a fabulous recital. Thank you for finishing with the Bach rather than starting. That was just a genius, a stroke of genius. And thank you for introducing us to the music of a much appreciated and loved Canadian composer, Barrie Cabena. It's been a fabulous 40 minutes. Thank you too for your time. And if I can add one more word of thanks, that's to Tenzin, who does our live streaming. If you'd like to go home and listen to the recital all over again, which I'm sure you will, it's very worthwhile, and Tenzin does a very valuable and much appreciated job. So can we conclude with one more very appreciative round of applause for Michael Capon? Thank you.